Welcome back to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me today because we're tackling one of the most misunderstood yet completely game-changing concepts in fitness. Today, we're breaking down body recomposition, or what our source brilliantly calls the dimmer switch. If you've ever felt completely trapped between gaining muscle and losing fat, well, this explainer is going to completely change how you view your body's energy management. Okay, let's dive into this.
For decades, right, the fitness world has fed us this idea that your body is basically a simple on-off switch. You're either in this anabolic mode, where you eat a ton of food to build muscle, but let's be real, you usually end up looking a bit like a Thanksgiving turkey. Or you flip the switch the other way into a catabolic mode, where you basically starve yourself to cut fat, but suddenly your arms look like spaghetti. It feels like a totally losing game, doesn't it? You're either gaining unwanted fat just to get strong, or you're shrinking your hard-earned muscle just to get lean.
But here's the massive paradigm shift we need to make today. Your body is not an on-off switch, it's a dimmer. And under the right circumstances, you actually don't have to choose between the two. You can dial in to do both simultaneously. This is body recomposition. Instead of relying purely on the foods you eat for energy to build muscle, you can actually force your body to pull premium fuel straight from your own fat stores. You are literally burning fat to build muscle. It's wild.
To actually master this, we're going to walk through a highly tactical, step-by-step level-up blueprint today. First, the recomposition cheat code. Second, the nutrition blueprint. Third, training for the signal. Fourth, the recovery pillar. And finally, measuring real success.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the recomposition cheat code.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it breaks down the three distinct groups of lifters who can just effortlessly pull off this combo. First up, we have the beginners. If you're new to lifting, you are basically in God mode. Your body is so unaccustomed to resistance training that just looking at a dumbbell triggers massive muscle growth, even while you're losing fat. Next is the emergency storage crew. If you're carrying a bit of extra body fat, well, congratulations, you have a massive built-in energy bank. Your body happily dips into that premium-grade stored fuel to build muscle while you eat less. And finally, the comeback warriors. If you used to be jacked or took a few years off for life, work, or, Netflix, you have muscle memory on your side. Your body is going to rebuild that lost muscle significantly faster than a first-timer, all while stripping away fat.
The only group kind of excluded from this cheat code? It's that 1% of highly advanced, already shredded lifters. If you already have incredibly low body fat and you've been training optimally for years, your body's efficiency is pretty much maxed out. But for the other 99% of us, the door is wide open.
Moving right into Section 2, the nutrition blueprint.
Because, listen, as amazing as body recomposition is, it isn't some magical Hogwarts spell. It really comes down to very strict, calculated energy management. Most people trying to lose fat drop their calories super aggressively, right? They eat like a bird, they walk around feeling like an absolute zombie, and their body just panics, burning both fat and muscle just to survive. We do not want that. For a successful recomposition, you need to find the sweet spot. This means eating just slightly below your maintenance calories. By doing this, you provide enough baseline fuel to keep your body functioning and your workout strong, forcing it to pull just that little bit of missing energy directly from your fat stores to fuel your muscle growth.
But hitting that caloric sweet spot is really only half the battle. You absolutely have to hit this exact number, 1.6 to 2. That's grams of protein per kilogram of your body weight every single day. No excuses. This is absolutely non-negotiable. And there's a phrase that explains exactly why that protein target matters so much. When you're in a deficit, your body becomes stingy with muscle tissue. Think about it. If you're eating below your maintenance calories and you fail to give your body enough dietary protein, it will literally start stealing from your own muscles for energy. It breaks down your hard-earned gains to fuel itself. Hitting that 1.6 to 2 gram threshold is essentially the shield that protects your muscle while the fat burns away.
All right, Section 3, training for the signal. Once your nutrition is locked in, you got to give your body a compelling reason to change its composition. Think of your training like a video game. I have to ask, are you still fighting level 1 enemies? A lot of people engage in what we call theater lifting. You know what I mean. They show up, go through the motions, and their last rep looks just as easy and comfortable as their first. If you aren't pushing into the struggle, your muscles literally don't even notice you were at the gym. You have to give them a real challenge.
Let's move to and see how this builds with progressive overload. To force adaptation, you have to face tougher bosses over time. You do this through 3 simple steps. Step 1, add more weight to the bar. Step 2, push for more reps with the same weight.
Or step 3, add more total sets to your week. You have to enter that growth zone, those final grinding 2 or 3 reps of a set where your body realizes, uh-oh, I have no choice but to build more muscle to survive the next encounter.
Which brings us to section 4, the recovery pillar.
So, you've provided the fuel and you've sent the signal. But the actual magic? Look, you do not grow in the gym. You only break muscle down in the gym. You actually grow in deep sleep. When you get 7 or more hours of quality sleep, your body clocks into the night shift. It cranks out anabolic hormones like testosterone, repairing muscle fibers and burning fat. It's a clean, super efficient engine. But when you carry a sleep debt, oh man, you are essentially training with the handbrake on. Your body flips into a catabolic state, flooding your system with the stress hormone cortisol, which actively eats your muscle and hoards your belly fat like it's prepping for a harsh winter.
So, the crucial point is this terrifying number. Just one single week of poor sleep can drop your testosterone levels by 10% to 15%. That is literally like losing your gains before you even step foot in the gym. All those heavy squats and perfectly tracked macros can be completely undone by late-night doom scrolling. No way, right?
To really bring this pillar home, sleep isn't just recovery, it's a growth tool. You absolutely have to start treating your pillow game with the exact same respect, intensity, and consistency that you give your barbell. If you want that dimmer switch to stay dialed toward muscle growth, you have to guard your sleep.
And finally, section 5, measuring real success. Okay, so you're eating right, lifting hard, and sleeping like an absolute champion. But how do you actually know it's working? During a body recomposition phase, the scale is literally the biggest trap in fitness. If you're doing this correctly, your weight might stay exactly the same for weeks or even months. Why? Because you are actively swapping dense muscle for fluffy fat. The scale cannot see that exchange. So throw the scale out for a minute. Your only true scoreboard is the mirror. Are you seeing coconut shoulders develop? Is your waist getting tighter? Is your overall shape stronger? That visual feedback is the real proof of a successful recomposition. And this brilliantly illustrates our final piece of the puzzle, cardio. If you're trying to hold on to muscle while losing fat, doing hours of hardcore, high-intensity cardio is going to nuke your gains and totally drain your recovery. Keep it incredibly simple. Aim for 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day. Walking is low effort, it doesn't spike your hunger, it lowers cortisol, and it torches fat purely without tapping into your hard-earned muscle. It's for sure the ultimate complement to your recomposition dimmer switch.
So, we've covered the entire blueprint today. From finding your nutritional sweet spot and training to send the right signal, to mastering your sleep and measuring progress the right way. My question to you is this: what will you change about your next workout or your routine tonight before bed to finally flip your body's dimmer switch and take control of your physique? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to see you apply these strategies. Until next time, stay focused and keep learning.